Hey everybody, HMV here. Playing more Kerbal Space Program on Twitch again. Nobody's watching yet, but hopefully we'll get some viewers. We are picking up where we left off. We are heading to Duna. I tweaked my my encounters here. I got a burn here that gets me an encounter with Ike, and then one to get into Orbit of Ike. And you see that the Orbit of Ike costs about 700, and this rounds it up to actually 700. Yeah, 750 maybe. We've got $2 grand in the tank, so landing on Ike is going to be no big deal whatsoever. All we gotta do is time warp out there. Let's go ahead and turn this off so we get a little bit of pretty. I installed Distant Object Enhancement, which is, if you look at the sun, notice there's no stars in the sky anymore, and as you look away from the sun, you get a little bit more stars in the sky. I kind of like it. I'm gonna give it a shot. You can also see the dark planets here. Still don't have that fixed. You can see the planets transiting the sun, which is kind of cool as we go here. That's like Eve or Moho, and then that one there is Eve or Moho. That looks pretty darn cool. Oh, and now it's too burned out by the sun. It just exploded. Oh, there it is again. But I kind of like being able to see the planet. See, there's Duna. It's much more visible as we go. We are nearing our maneuver node, which is always nice. Looks like there's a update to Kerbal Alarm Clock available, which I'll have to take care of eventually. But yeah, I don't know how long I'll be recording tonight. Nobody's on. Oh, somebody's on. Oh, that's me, probably. I just realized whenever I'm saying hi to the viewer who's on, that's probably me. Because it says viewers, Fifth Horseman. I found the viewers place, but oh well. Love orbital mechanics. I have to burn towards the sun in order to move my projected velocity away from the sun. Okay, let me reset this just to make sure everything's fine. It is. So I'm going to do this burn here. Don't really care about the time. Also, notice the burn in T-5. That's a change that was made to the Better Burn Time mod to allow you to put a countdown timer instead of the row of dots. And while I like the row of dots, I didn't find them as useful as a actual countdown timer. Okay, here comes our trajectory, and I guess I was wrong about the area, like when it was coming through. We are burning towards the sun to bring this back down, so never mind what I said about orbital mechanics. I don't know anything. If we nail this right... Okay, now we don't need this anymore. We just need to keep burning in the same direction until we get a nice, low Ike encounter. Preferably somewhere in the 10-kilometer range. Maybe 20. $65. You know what? I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know how high we have to be for the scanner to work around Ike. So we're going to kill that. We apparently killed all maneuver nodes on the trajectory here. Not a big deal. We'll just make another one. There's something definitely wrong with how the stock game does this sort of thing. This will probably cost a little bit more. No, it actually costs about the same. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, but that gets us in orbit of Ike, and then we'll worry about it after that, what we do here. Let's keep time warping. That might be Kerbin even ahead of us. Or no, that's probably Jewel. There's Eve. I'm assuming that's Jewel because it's green. Here comes Duna. Oh, the Grand Tour ship to Jewel has a maneuver node coming up. We're going to jump to that guy and do something there. I keep forgetting that I have like 2 ships going because while I normally play that way, I haven't been playing that way in this save. Let's go ahead and jump to him. close the transfer window planner. Close it again, because, you know. Now, what is this guy doing? He is doing his burn. And actually, I don't even know if we want to do this burn. Let's focus on Jewel. Yeah, this burn is just going to get us an encounter with Jewel. Oh, you know what it was? I was doing this burn to get the encounter, and then I was going to tweak it. It's not at our ascending node. It is. Why are we coming in so far south then? I guess we're really not. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of normal. Let's add a lot of normal. Let's take away a lot of normal. Yeah, there's just no doing it. We've got to do something like this, and then... Yeah, that's probably the best. Adds a little bit of meters per second, and we're already over time. Not that it matters that much. Let's get this burn going. Okay, we have an encounter now. That's always good. Now I'm going to tweak the... Oops, go back to the ship. There we go. Yeah, we are a year from this. So right around here, I think, in 3 years, I'm going to tweak the everything. What is our... I can't focus on... Oops. Focus on Jewel. Does that show me my ascending and descending nodes? Of course not. That would be useful information. That would help me plan my encounter. Okay, well, we've got this maneuver node. Let's see what it does here. We need to probably radial. Yeah, radial's the cheap way to do it. And we want an encounter with lathe, ideally. Because we want to put this thing in orbit of lathe. Because we're going to meet this thing at lathe, send the lathe plane down and back up, and then send the whole thing to Tylo. That's the goal when we get here. So let's bring this down here. That's about lathe, and then we want to come down again, and then we basically now just want to get this guy to the point where when lathe comes around, we're in the same spot. And I have found that the best way to do that is to fiddle. And by fiddling, I mean add a little bit of prograde. Or, oops, that's normal. And then a little bit of radial. There's our lathing. Oh, that's a Tylo encounter. We could just do that Tylo encounter, but let's keep on trying here. Let's lower the prograde a bit. Do a little more radial. There's a lathe encounter. Yeah, if we do the prograde so we come outside, what we want to do is we want to come into lathe from behind and then get close enough to it that we get swung around and we're not coming in from behind anymore. So let's actually tweak this. See, in order to do that, I think, yeah, see, we need to be more northern. Although that gets us into orbit of Jewel in 5 years. And we're going to have that much time. And if we fiddle with the normal just a tiny little bit, yeah, see, that's not actually helping as much as I was hoping it would. Let's just leave that at 2. And then, see, we're coming in. Once we get slowed down into orbit, then we can figure out what we're going to do. We could also just, when we get here, do a retrograde burn of, let's say, 500? I don't know. $600. Yeah, see a nice 1,000 retrograde burn, which we have 1,500, and we can basically use all of it. It says we only have 15 meters per second in the current stage, which I guess might be right. Is that can't be right? Yeah, let me. Yeah, we have to transfer all the fuel into this guy, and this is sadly only liquid fuel. Probably should have not brought that along. Okay, let's go ahead and transfer from this guy to these guys. And I can't. Am I in time warp? He has electric charge. Okay. Oh, maybe it's because I had the landing strut chosen. There we go. Let's see how many actual meters per second we have, because that's gonna make a difference when it comes time to doing this. And actually, what I should do is put all the fuel in these guys, because this is assuming that I am. Yeah, let's do this. Let's select all 3 of these tanks. There we go. We are landed. Yay. And it is very, very, very flat right here. Like this right here is very flat. Okay, let's go ahead and run our analysis. And it says there is 5.93 ores here. And it's basically the worst it could possibly be. So I think, one thing I don't think we have is enough fuel to get back here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually jump back up. Let's switch to, no, set that as our target. Let's turn off trajectories. And we're going to launch this guy right now, and he's going to go back up and dock with the Grand Tour ship, refuel, and then come back down and try to land here, which is just terrible. That's a terrible slope. Maybe here? This is a lot better. We're going to try to land here and see what this is like. Alternatively, we're getting to the point where we're far enough off the equator that we could probably land here. And honestly, it probably doesn't matter that much. Part of me wants to just land the mothership here. And that part of me, I think, just won. What we can do is we can land here this time. No, you know what? We're going to do this right. We're going to do this right. We're going to launch right now. We're going to launch to the east, which is up on the nav ball. And we're going to reconnect with our mothership here. There's no reason to be worried about anything here. So let's go ahead and hit this and get right to the right here. Just make 1,000% sure there's nothing there. Yeah. Okay, we need to be burning south. Just watching this number here to know if I need to be burning south or normal. It's kind of hard to watch all these things all at the same time, but there we go. You have to go into time warp because things change the moment you... Well, not the moment, but things change as you burn. Okay, let's just do this. Ah, stupid normals. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll get him into orbit, and then we'll match him up later. Helps if you actually do the burn that you planned. Or one far larger than the one you planned. Okay. Now, here, let's go back into 5 times time warp so our orbit doesn't change. Turn trajectories off because it just adds confusion to the mix. So annoying. It's right about like that is what we need to do. Because the game loves me. Okay, 1,000 times time warp, but we can't actually do 1,000 times time warp. So let's head back to the Space Center. To do this 5-day or 5-hour time warp that you should be able to do in orbit of Ike, but you can't because the game thinks that you're going to crash. And I screwed up because I didn't click jump to ship because the trajectories window came up and I wanted to get rid of it. So let's go to the prospector. It's nice that it remembers the name I gave it, even through docking and undocking. I know that that's been a moderate issue in the past. Okay, we don't need the HUD for this. There we go. Now I need to add a alarm here for close approach because the game, now the game suddenly realizes it. It's like it knows that I was checking with Kerbal alarm clock, and I think I need to burn prograde here. I could be doing this with the burners. Probably should have tried it with the burners. Yeah, so now it's gone, but Kerbal alarm clock says it's better. No, it says it's worse. Look how quickly it changes. Well, it's not 16.8. Okay, now if we burn retrograde, just burning until this thing gets down to the 1 kilometer again. There we go. That's good. Kerbal Engineer doesn't, or Kerbal Engineer, Kerbal Space Program doesn't tell me when I will be close, but Kerbal Alarm Clock does, and that's what I care about. We're a little bit closer to the surface than I was thinking, but we're 30 kilometers off. 20 kilometers off the surface, 30 off the sea level, whatever that is. Okay, there's our target. There's our velocity vector. Just aim ourselves retrograde. Go into locked mode. Sorry about making you want to throw up here. Now we want to turn this way. Oops, this way. No, I was right the first time. This way. There we go. There you go. Yes, we are going to be less than a kilometer away, about 100 meters away in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. The estimated burn is 1 second. Let's go ahead and hit F5. Yeah, see, if we had hopped across and we had used over 370 meters per second, we would now be coming in with fuel empty. If we used over 370 meters per second, we wouldn't have been able to dock with the mothership. So I think it was wise that we came back up to refuel before going back down. And Ike is one of the bigger worlds we're going to be landing on, but Dres and Elu are bigger, which is a little bit disturbing. It means that we might have some issues when that time comes, and I might need to think about how I'm going to handle that. I might leave the Icelander, or the prospector probe. I might leave that attached to the mothership and just come down with the whole thing so I can use it with the mothership on the ground. Might just be something we have to do. Okay. Let's get ourselves heading towards the ship. We want to be coming around on this side. Might as well use the Verners. We've got them. Okay, let's go ahead and stop ourselves here. Dock right on the top of Jeb here, might as well. No idea if the sun is setting or rising. Yeah, this is so touchy. Okay, we are a meter away. And we're docked. Okay, let's fill up his tanks again. I mean, we can fill up his tanks all day long with the fuel we got in here. Oops, not in. Out. It annoys me that it takes longer to fill up the small tanks than it does the big tanks. Like the big tanks, you click it and it's empty. Then the small tanks, you got to wait like 30 seconds for them to fill up. It seems like the pumps would pump the same speed both directions, regardless of what size tank they were pumping into. But who am I? Okay, prospector filled. Let's go ahead and undock him. And let's turn this back on. And we want to come back down. Sadly, it's in the dark now. So we're probably going to have to wait a few orbits. And we want to try... What did we say we wanted to try? Yeah, this right here doesn't look too bad. Like this one line doesn't look all that bad. So I think we should try here, just south of this really good area. So that means, and we want it at sunrise. So somewhere around here. Well, we need to go into time warp because the orbit is changing enough to matter. Turn on trajectories. We slow ourselves down. Probably do it a little bit earlier. Let's jump forward in orbit so we don't get the Kerbal alarm clock alarm. Okay, yeah, this is looking better. But we lost our ore concentration on Ike for some reason. Oh, no, we have it. It's just there's none on this side. Okay, so now let's jump forward orbits. Until we're at roughly the right orbit, and then we need to go negative a decent amount, or positive. It's actually not helping all that much. I don't know what the game is telling me at the moment. I really honestly don't know what this is telling me. I think we should do this and then we'll fix the burn then. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Is it worth time warping here for a day? The answer is no. Tell you what, let's jump to him for a change of pace here. I'm a little surprised I have no viewers. Not gonna lie. Been recording for 45 minutes or so. Not one viewer. After I land, I might stop the stream and recycle it because I might also not be getting a local recording. I just noticed that. Oops. Let's do our burn here. And that's perfect. Oh, I see why the normal didn't work, because I'm in the completely wrong space to do a normal. I want to do the normal here. And I wanted just below this. Yeah, just like that. Although the beginning of this might be good. Tell you what, let's go for it. That we can do a little hop like that. And if not, I could always send another frickin' prospector up from Kermit to meet us at Dres. Yeah, the funny thing is the mothership might actually have a better capability than this prospector to hop around and find a spot, because it can drill more. As long as it lands on anywhere with fuel, it can drill more. So maybe the prospector probe thing is not the best idea ever. But it's nice because it's nimble and agile, and it really doesn't waste fuel. Okay, that should basically be perfect. Okay, where are we in relation to this? So yeah, it's going to be up on another ridge now. Seems like all the ore deposits on Ike are on ridge areas, and I wonder actually if this area right before the ridge is even better. No, because we're talking this area. We do want to be up here. So yeah, we want to be on top of this ridge, ideally. I'm actually going to go a little bit farther than the node thing says, and then we're going to hit the gas. And again, I forget I'm in orbit mode. Let's go into surface mode. Yeah, if we could land anywhere in this area, I think we'll be fine as far as angle is concerned. Got to remember, the mothership is not exactly incapable of landing on a slope, especially on Ike. The main thing is the slope has to be low enough that the buggy landing gear in the game doesn't have problems with that. Okay, I'm going to just delete this. We've got a 10-second burn to stop us. We could probably stop pretty much anywhere. I'm burning a little bit more retrograde to slow us down a little bit faster here. There we go. Don't really need the HUD anymore. Don't know where the sun is. The sun is basically directly overhead, so our shadow is going to be basically directly below us. Yeah, I think after this landing, I'm going to stop the stream. for anybody watching that I just don't know you're watching, I'll be back really quickly. For those of you on YouTube, this will mark the end of this episode probably, and then I'll come back next time. And I'm not going to do like an outro or anything like that. Okay. Yeah, all that work for 3% more. I think we're gonna accept that. Yeah, anything to our west over here. Anything behind us. Which I don't even know which direction that is now that I'm looking at it. Okay, that's north. So looking this way is west. Anything this direction is going to be better, because it's higher on that thing. But it looks like we're on the edge of that anyway. So as long as we just land before we get to this guy, I think we should be fine. So, okay, I'll be right back.